Start with the today's lecture. So yes, just not yesterday. On Friday, we discussed the layers, first three layers of OSI model. That is physical layer, data link layer, and network layer. So now we will continue with the next part of the OSI model. So as we discussed that OSI model is a theoretical model, whereas the actual implementation was done by the TCP/IP model. Okay. So the physical layer of the OSI model is used to transmit the data in bits. Data link layer will transfer the data in frames. Network layer will transport the data to data link layer in packets, as well as data link layer will put up the header and trailer that will be used to identify by the physical layer that at which point the packet will start and stop. The data of particular frame will be started or stopped. And a network layer is also used to make a communication, end-to-end communication between the two systems. So next is transport layer, the fourth layer of the OSI model. It is responsible for the service point or port addressing. So the service addressing or port addressing is being used. Now, when the transport layer will start, a whole chapter is on it. So at that point, we will discuss it in detail. So, let's just discuss in brief that port addressing is. It will decide at which port the data will be transmitted from sender to the receiver. Okay, and then the segmentation and reassembly is there. During the sending part, the data will be segmented, and at the receiver's part, it will be reassembled as per the sequence numbers assigned by the layers. A message is divided into transmittable segments, each segment containing a sequence number. So now suppose this is the number, or sorry, this is the data, and it is divided into these number of packets. Okay, so like it is divided into 6 packets. So sequence number is being allocated to them, like 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Like sequence number is allocated to this, and so at so the packets will be transmitted like this. These are the segments or packets, and they will be reassembled according to the sequence number, like 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so then transport layer is also responsible for the connection control. It will decide whether the data will be transmitted via connection oriented or connectionless. Then flow control and error control is there. Can anyone tell me what do you understand by flow control? Anyone? What is flow control and error control? So basically this flow control is, suppose this is the sender, and it is transmitting the data to the receiver like this. And now the sender is transmitting the data at 100 Mbps. Okay, but the receiver is receiving at 10 Mbps. So that means there is a traffic jam over here in this medium. So it will control the flow of the data as per the acknowledgement received by the receiver. So it will, while making a connection, the data is being exchanged between the sender and the receiver, and the receiver will tell us at how much speed you will send the data towards the receiver. So this is how the flow control is being done. Then error control is there. Some error detection techniques are being implemented, which will decide that whether the data received is the actual data transmitted by the sender, or it is being modified in between the medium. Clear? Okay, so data is being transmitted from session layer, this session layer, to the transport layer, and here the H4 is being implemented. H4 means header 4, the header of layer 4. This is the header. H means header and 4 means layer. Okay, so to the packets, the header is being added as a in header. Number of information is there, that what is the source address, what will be the destination address, the sequence number of the packet, then at which port the data is being received, because different data is being received at the different ports. So this is the information that will be put up in this header 4, and that data packets will be transmitted to the network layer. Similarly, at the receiver side, now this is the sender side, and this side we have receiver, and from network layer the data is being sent to the transport layer. Segments are being received, and they are sequenced as per the sequence number assigned by the sender at the transport layer. And when all the sequence numbers will be matched and all the data will be received, the data is clubbed together into a single data packet and transmitted to the session layer. Means you just think that you are just sending an email to your friend or to your colleague, but see how many implementations are being implemented to safely send your data to the receiver side. Clear? Okay, reliable process to process delivery of a message. So it is being it is a reliable process to process in which we will deliver the data from or message from source to the destination. So done by the internet, and will be transmitted from sender to the receiver, and then network layer will be implemented for host to host delivery, and transport layer will be used for process to process delivery. Reliable means it is of robust nature. It will not be damaged via some small entities. So layer 5 is session layer. Dialer control is there. It is designed to establish, maintain, and synchronize the interaction between communicating systems. See, uh, it this transmission in the computer network does not mean that a sender will send the data to the receiver. Yeah, but it is just the part of the transmission of data. Basically, first of all, the connection is being established. Okay, and first of all, the connection establishment is there. Just remember that whenever you make a call to the to your friend or to your relative or uh, your boss, so first of all, the connection is being established. Whenever the ring is going to the receiver side, that means the connection is established between you and the receiver. Okay. Whenever he or she picks that call, so that means then there is a transfer of data from sender to the receiver. So first, when network is there, the connection is being established, and when the other person will give the consent as a yes to transfer the data, then only then the transfer of data will take place. Otherwise, the session will be discarded after some time. Clear? Okay. So synchronization is it allows the process to add checkpoints or synchronization points to a data stream. Okay. So just tell me, have you sometimes you have played some racing games over the computer or on your mobile devices? Just wait for a second. So, do you remember that sometimes when your car will get damaged and it will start from the another checkpoint? So let me just show you by drawing a line. Suppose this is the path you have to cover, and this is the starting point, and that will be the ending point. And suppose some checkpoints are being implemented up to at this point, and at this point, and this is the final stage. Okay, so sometimes suppose you are moving from this point to this point, and suppose at this point, if your car will get damaged, so you will start from the again from the this starting point. Okay, but when you go from here, and then you are at this point, and at this point your car will get damaged. Rather than starting from the starting point, your car will start from this point, this checkpoint. So these are the checkpoints. That means you do not have to backtrack as a whole while transmitting the data. You can easily start from the checkpoint where the last checkpoint you have reached. Okay, so this can also be added in the uh, transfer of data from sender to the receiver. Do you people got my point? Okay, so checkpoints are being implemented in session layer. So here it is very simple diagram. This data will come from presentation layer, synchronization layer, the establishment of connection, as well as the header 5 is being implemented. Okay, and data will be moved to the transport layer, and at the receiver side, transport layer will send the data to session layer, and then it will travel to the presentation layer. Okay. So next is the presentation layer. It is designed to handle the syntax and semantics of information exchange between the two systems. So what type of protocols will be used and how data will be transferred from sender to the receiver, that will be done by this presentation layer, and design of data translation, encryption, decryption and combination will be done over this presentation layer. Okay. Again, a very simple diagram. Header 6 is being implemented of the session presentation layer, and data will be moved to the session layer. And last is application layer. So the application layer is the user interaction layer, like the your Google portal or your Gmail portal will be the application layer. This is responsible for providing the services to the user. All the other tasks of other 6 layers should be at the back end, whereas the application layer will interact with the user. So mail services are being implemented, file transfer and access and management is there. Remote login or network virtual terminal, like you will use any desk uh, software by which you are going to remotely access the other systems. Internet unless there is an internet connection, accessing the World Wide Web is like we are discussing a lecture or topic on the Zoom portal. So that is also, that means we all are working on the same application layer. Like I am giving you the data, and data is transmitted from my side to your systems, and we are just interacting via the application layer. But all the data transmission steps will be implemented at the backend, and then directory services there is being in application layer. Okay, so some protocols are being used over here, like SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, tel network is there, hypertext transfer protocol is there. And header 7 is being implemented for the data will be transferred from source to so from application layer to the presentation layer. Okay, so these are the just summary of all the application layer. So let's just discuss it one by one, otherwise we have covered all the points in it. So application layer will allow access to the network resources, directly interact with the user. At presentation layer, in encryption and compressing of the data is there, whereas at the receiver side, decryption and decompressing of the data, as well as the translation of data. Session layer is to establish and manage the and terminate the sessions. uh, Transport layer will be used for process to process delivery, as well as reliable uh, connection to be used for delivery of the data. Network will move packets from source to destination to provide inter-networking. Data link layer will segment the packets into frames and provides the hop-to-hop delivery, whereas physical layer will transmit the bits over a medium to provide mechanical and electrical specifications. Clear? Yes. Okay, so no one will left now. I am going to take your attendance. Till the time, if you have any query, just write down in the chat box. मुकेश बेटा अभी कुछ नहीं, मोहित बेटा अभी कुछ नहीं आ गया, जो भी होगा आपको इन्फॉर्म कर दिया जाएगा।